We've been talking about guerrilla filmmaking, indie filmmaking, be able to wear different hats at multiple different times, trying to balance a little bit of everything at once can be very difficult. So do y'all have like a particular role that is your least favorite? Because I know mine. We're indie filmmakers ourselves. My favorite is screenwriting and cinematography. I hate producing. I am not a fan of producing at all. Like that, I don't want to work with numbers. I'll go location scout. That shit's cool, but
Oh,
I do not want to work with numbers. I do not want to budget. But yeah, I'm curious about y'all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that well, because my approach to I took a lot of my life has been very unorthodox and timelining, and
Hmm.
my filmmaking experience, I, for better or for worse, decided to dive into the deep end
Yeah.
without having the past experience like Ali has had of being
Hmm.
like a PA on a bajillion sets. And I had been talent on a bajillion sets for
Hmm.
years and years and years since I was like 10 years old. But being talent, obviously, on a film or a commercial or a TV set is a completely different,
Yeah.
cloistered world than working on the other side. And we work as indie filmmakers, we literally say our hats are
Yep.
different. Like I'll be
Hmm.
like, okay, so this meeting, I'm literally taking off my metaphorical, actual physical hat that's a producer hat. I'm putting on my actor hat. Then I'm putting on my screenwriter hat.
Yep.
But I completely agree with you. The producing is really hard, especially when it's your creative work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As I've worked as a producer on other people's sets, that's been really fun to because I'm like outside of the world of that. So I'm just like the event planner and I'm just here to help make the story happen. I'm here to fight fires. But when it's my writing, I don't want to be like but that's me, right? And so
Hmm.
that was definitely the hardest one. It's a hard pill to swallow. And when we were working on Lottie, that was a big learning curve. I learned a
Yeah.
lot about myself on that set. And it made me much stronger and ready to approach Mochi in a different
Well, because it's
capacity.
crushing when you're the producer, but it's your art. Because when that decision has to be made, like that's not happening, even though
Yeah,
you want it to have,
you're like
it's
killing your
crushing.
darlings, and
Yeah,
it's like your
yeah,
darling.
yeah.
You're like,
It's but understanding where your strengths and weaknesses are, what you excel at and what you don't, right? Because as a team, I'm sure you guys have it. We have it. We know when we walk in a room, we know which one of us is going to handle what we're going to handle because we know where we excel at. And so we're able to balance really well, and I know that if he walks off this way and he's talking about this and I'm walking off this way and I'm talking about this, we don't have to worry about what's being said or what's being done because we know it's going to be beneficial for the film because we trust in each other's strengths and we build each other's off of each other's weaknesses. So and it's like that on set too. We take that approach as suits, but even more so as creatives. We know where we excel on set in the creative roles as well, and
right.
so we find that nice balance. And I think it's critical. I just keep going back to what you say at the top of the interview about finding your people, right? Because it really, no matter how talented you are, no matter how much skill you have, you've got to surround yourself with the right people in order to be successful, right? If people don't understand you, they don't get your vision, they can't support your weakness and carry your strength, you're not going to succeed. And so I think it's critical to find that and be able to move forward that way. It certainly seems like you guys have. And that's a beautiful thing. I can't stress that enough. You can't do it on your own. It's an impossible game to do it on your own. Nobody can do it on their own. And sharing what you know. That's the other thing, which I find a lot of people are still hesitant. It's like, if you learned how to do something because you did something wrong and now you know, what's wrong with passing that on to somebody else so they don't make that mistake? It's critical, I think, to be able to share what you know. That's how we're all going to make it. That's how our stories are going to get told. That's how we're going to change the world, by sharing what we know, right?
I think the importance of, well, I guess the difference and something that we hold very important of what Ginny and I are doing when we create art and how we create our art is being constantly and um, like never losing sight of being community driven
Yes.
and that includes giving back to our community. That doesn't just mean creating a community for our own benefits.
Right.
Like Ginny is an incredible writer, and she is so creative and talented. And it's no surprise that we keep finding people who are so jazzed about her story that they will, make sacrifices for their time and day and lives to come and make this film. Like, I'm not surprised by those things at all. However, something that I really think is part of the backbone of Be Fucking Nice, as a production company, but also um, just as a storytelling um, entity
Yes.
at all, is giving back to community
Yes.
is something so important. We have no intention of solely funding only Ginny's films for the rest of our careers. We
Absolutely not.
absolutely have gotten in touch with and made friendships with and started making plans to uplift other artists in so many different ways. Like I said, like, of course, Ginny's stories, they speak for themselves, and also Ginny's an incredible person, and so a lot of people want to show up for her. We want to be those people to others as well.
Yes.
We want to show up for people and
Yes.
help them, whenever they're feeling down and discouraged, reminding them that the capitalist society that we live in does not want to see you succeed. Let us give you our platform. Let us, help you. I have these skills, A, B, and C. Like, how can they help you today? I can budget for you? I can help book those lights for you. I have a friend who owns a house. Let me call her up, see if you can use it as your location. Like, da 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 da. Like, I don't have money to put towards any films. My films, other people's films, but I have plenty of other currency that might be useful to you. How can I still help you create this art? And I think it's really important for a lot of people who do go out and seek, like, oh, like, I have to find my people. Yes, you do, but also, give back, constantly give back. Remain in a place of gratitude to the people that come and show up for you. And don't be so above doing the same for them. I think a lot of
Absolutely.
people, like, whenever I was being taught as an actor to make connections, it was always about, you never know, like, they could get you a job. They could get you in front of this person. You never know what these people can give to you and what they can give to you. And I remember along the way just being like, but what can I also give to the people who support me? Like,
That's
why
right.
would I stop there?
Right. Why is it so transactional and or so hierarchical? And I understand that on a set you have to have the hierarchy of the chain of command of communication, but something that is just makes Ali like such an incredible director, and her approach as a director and how she leads these sets is like magical to watch, is because she leads with such transparency and care. She does not like gatekeep anything. She like is very honest about what's going on, what she wants to see, where are we at, and making sure that everybody's playing in the sandbox together. It gives people such trust and care, and then they feel strong in themselves so that they can set themselves up best for success.
Exactly.
There's never like, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to watch, and it trickles down and makes every single set that I've ever been on with her a calm, safe, efficient, like a set, which is in compared to other sets I have been on is very, very cool and very, very nice to have.
No doubt.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's crazy because we have so much in common just as team duos. Like, it's absolutely wild. Allie, you never answered. What is your least favorite? I'm very curious because you seem like you do a little bit of everything.
She does.
Yeah, talk about multiple hats. I am kind of a control freak, so I really like to wear as many hats as possible. But also, like Ginny said, I will never shy away from the power of collaboration. Um, that being said, I like to bring my experiences to a lot of different areas of film. I'm very, very fulfilled by a lot of places in the arts. I think the most stressful is definitely producing, but it's where I feel the most productive. So I don't hate that very much. Directing, I think, is exactly where I belong. I love bringing my skill set to directing. I've been a lighting designer before. I've been a writer before. I have been a director. I've been a grip. I've been a PA. I've done it all. So I love being able to at least know all those things and bring it to directing.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think the more skills you can have, the better a director you'll ever be.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I gotta be honest. I love wearing all those hats.
Yeah.
Being a first AD is so fulfilling. I love being able to show up for somebody and have their back. you know, being a producer and knowing that, you know, you can field and think on your feet and problem solve. You know, I'm an older sister, so I'll take on anything you need.
Yeah.
Just let me know what you need.
I think the positive thing about producing too is just like being aware of the entire process. That was
Yes,
like a beautiful learning lesson for me, was like being there from very inception to the last moment of post. Like
I'll tell you what, post is hard.
Post
It
is
is.
Post is crazy hard. Yeah.
Really hard, and I don't like it.
Post is
No.
hard and long.
Yes.
And you need more money than you think.
Oh, without doubt.